Every year, truck drivers are found unresponsive in freezing cabs after their heaters failed overnight. Cargo gets cut from trailers while drivers sleep 10 feet away. Break-ins, assaults, and stolen loads at rest stops number in the thousands, and those numbers are not improving. But there are drivers who have been hauling cross-country for 20 and 30 years without a single overnight incident. When you talk to them, you realize it is not luck. It comes down to 10 habits they never skip. These are the hacks that keep veteran truck drivers safe while they sleep. Number 1. The nose-out parking position. When you pull into a truck stop or rest area for the night, back your rig against a wall, a fence, or another stationary truck so that your cab is facing the open lot with a clear exit path ahead of you. If something goes wrong during the night, whether that is a suspicious person approaching your cab door, a fire in a neighboring vehicle, or any situation where you need to leave fast, you do not want to be fumbling with a 53-foot trailer in reverse while half awake in the dark. Nose out means you turn the key, drop it in gear, and you are gone. 5 seconds versus 5 minutes. And there is a second benefit most drivers overlook. When your trailer is backed against a wall or barrier, you have eliminated one of the biggest access points to your cargo. Nobody is walking up to your trailer doors, cutting a seal, or climbing underneath from behind. You have cut your vulnerable surface area in half just by how you parked. Think of it the way a cop treats sitting in a restaurant. Back to the wall, eyes on the door. It cost you an extra 60 seconds, and it could save your life. But parking nose out only protects you from the outside. What a potential thief sees when they look through your cab windows is a whole different problem. Number 2. The blackout cab setup. If someone walking through a dark parking lot at 2 in the morning cannot see inside your cab, they do not know if you are in there, if you are awake, or what you have inside. That uncertainty works in your favor every single time. The mistake a lot of drivers make is relying on the factory sleeper curtain alone. Those curtains block the view from the windshield, but they leave the side windows and sometimes the door glass completely exposed. A curious person can cup their hands against the glass and see your phone, your laptop, your wallet on the dash, and whether you are actually asleep. The fix is custom-cut reflective insulation panels. Pick up a roll of Reflectix at any hardware store, trace your window shapes onto it, cut them out, and press them into the window frames. They stay in place on their own because of the slight curve of the glass. From the outside, the windows look like solid silver panels, and as a bonus, they add real insulation that keeps your cab warmer in winter and cooler in summer. Some drivers add a layer of black fabric over the reflective panels so the silver does not catch headlights sweeping through the lot. Velcro strips around the window frame make the panels easy to pop in and out. One detail people forget is the mirrors. Your side mirrors create a small gap between the door panel and the mirror housing where light leaks in and eyes can peek through. A rolled-up towel or a small piece of cut foam wedged into that gap seals it off completely. Now, once your cab is blacked out and invisible from the outside, you can take that advantage a step further with a trick that is pure psychology. Number 3. The occupied cab decoy. The idea is to make your truck look actively occupied and alert even while you are asleep inside the sleeper berth. The simplest method is leaving a low-level dash light on, like a small reading lamp clipped to the steering column. From outside the windshield, it looks like someone is sitting up in the cab, awake and watching. Some drivers leave a talk radio station on at low volume.
17. Abandoned hospital.
A lot of drivers rely on idling their engine all night to keep the cab heater running during winter hauls. That works until it does not. Diesel engines stall, fuel gels in extreme cold, auxiliary power units fail, batteries die, and when your heat source quits at 3 in the morning in a Minnesota truck stop with the outside temperature sitting at -15, your cab temperature drops below freezing within an hour or two. Experienced drivers who haul through northern routes in winter always carry backup thermal protection that does not depend on the engine running. One of the smartest options is an emergency thermal bivvy, a compact sleeping bag style shell made from thermal reflective material that bounces your body heat back toward you. It needs no batteries, no fuel, and no setup at all. You climb inside and your own body does the work. The one a lot of truckers have been using recently is called TerraShell. It is army green instead of the standard bright orange you see on most emergency blankets, which matters when you do not want to draw attention to yourself in a dark parking lot. It creates a waterproof barrier around you, so condensation and moisture are not a problem the way they are with regular cotton blankets. It folds down small enough to stash behind the seat and just sits there until you need it. I will drop a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Your engine is not a reliable heat source for 8 hours in extreme cold. Having a backup that works without power is the same logic as carrying a spare tire. You hope you never use it, but you are glad it is there when you need it. If you are finding this useful, hit subscribe. Next week, I am breaking down the gear experienced truckers keep bolted inside their cabs, and you do not want to miss that one. Everything we have covered so far is about prevention, keeping threats out, staying invisible, choosing safe ground. But this next habit covers the one scenario none of that can help with, when something goes wrong and you need someone to know where you are. When you are sleeping alone in a truck cab hundreds of miles from home, nobody knows exactly where you are unless you tell them. If something goes wrong during the night, whether it is a medical emergency, a break-in, or your truck getting hit by another vehicle in the lot, the speed of response depends entirely on whether someone knows where to send help. The system is simple. Pick one person you trust, a spouse, a sibling, a fellow driver. Share your live location with them through your phone. Most smartphones have built-in location sharing that runs in the background. Set up a schedule. You send a message when you park for the night and another when you wake up. If they do not hear from you by a specific time, they call you. If you do not answer, they contact your dispatcher or local authorities. Some drivers use dedicated apps that send an automatic location ping at set intervals. If the app does not detect movement or a manual check-in within a certain window, it sends an alert to your emergency contact. Locks keep people out. A buddy system brings help in. It takes 2 minutes to set up, and you should do it tonight. Now, your buddy system handles the scenario where you need outside help. But what about the scenarios where you need to get yourself out right now, in the dark, in 5 seconds flat? One old-school trick that long-haul veterans use is placing a pair of work boots on the fuel tank step below the driver door. It creates the impression that someone just stepped out and is coming right back. A potential thief does not want to be standing next to your cab when the owner returns from the restroom. Another variation is the jacket silhouette. Drape a high-visibility vest or a jacket over the driver's seat so the shape from outside looks like a person sitting there. Combine that with the dash light and your cab looks occupied from 50 feet away. None of this replaces real security measures, but layering decoy signals on top of your blackout setup creates a truck that simply does not look like an easy target. Psychology keeps the casual opportunist walking, but eventually, someone who actually wants in is going to grab your door handle. That is where this next one comes in. Number 4. Door and entry point security. Factory door locks on a semi-truck are not designed for overnight sleeping. They are designed to keep a door closed while you are driving. An experienced thief can pop a standard cab door lock in under a minute using tools from any auto parts store. That is why veteran drivers add aftermarket security layers. One of the most popular is a simple door brace, a telescoping bar that wedges between the door handle and the floor of the cab. Even if someone picks the lock or forces the handle, the brace holds the door shut from the inside. You can find these for under $30. And they work on almost every cab model. Another option is a portable door alarm sensor. These are small battery-powered devices that stick to the inside of your door frame with adhesive. If the door opens even a crack, a 120 decibel alarm goes off inside your cab, loud enough to wake you instantly and loud enough to send anyone outside running. The point is to add enough friction that someone with bad intentions decides your rig is not worth the trouble and moves to the next one. Criminals in truck stop lots are almost always looking for the easiest target. Make sure that is not you. All of that matters. But none of it matters if you parked in the wrong lot to begin with. and where you park is probably the single biggest safety decision you make all night. Number 5. Location selection strategy. Well-lit truck stops with active fuel islands, a convenience store that stays open, and visible security cameras are always your first choice. A truck stop with foot traffic, even at night, is a truck stop where someone is less likely to try something because there are witnesses around. Rest areas on interstate highways are a step down. They are maintained by the state, but many have limited lighting, no security presence, and long gaps between patrol visits. The spots you want to avoid completely are isolated industrial lots, dead-end streets behind warehouses, and the far back corners of any parking area where the overhead lights do not reach. Those corners might be quieter for sleeping, but quiet and dark is exactly where problems happen. Before you pull off for the night, check trucker community apps and forums for recent reports on that specific location. Drivers post about break-ins, lot lizard activity, and sketchy encounters in real time. A 2-minute check on your phone while you are still at a fuel island can save you from parking somewhere dangerous, and park near other trucks whenever possible. A row of occupied rigs creates a natural neighborhood watch, and you are far less likely to be singled out when your truck is parked in the middle of 20 others. Choosing the right location keeps you safe from other people. But there is a threat out there that has nothing to do with criminals, and it has killed more truck drivers than break-ins and theft combined. Number 8. Interior cab layout for emergency exits. When something goes wrong in the middle of the night, you do not have time to think. You react. And how fast you can move from your sleeper berth to the driver's seat or the passenger door depends entirely on what is between you and that exit. Your cab interior needs to be organized with one rule in mind. Nothing blocks the path between where you sleep and where you escape. That duffel bag on the floor, the cooler wedged between the seats, the pile of paperwork on the passenger seat, all of it needs a home that is not in your exit path. Keep a pair of shoes right next to your head, ready to slip on without searching in the dark. Keep a flashlight within arm's reach, ideally one that clips to the wall of the sleeper or attaches with a magnet. If you need to move in the dark, you need to see where you are going. If your sleeper has a curtain divider, leave it partially open at night so you can see the cab from where you are lying down. A closed curtain gives you privacy from the outside, but it also blocks your view of someone who has already gotten inside. Think of your cab layout the way a firefighter thinks about their station bunk. Everything in position, path to the exit clear. You train for the moment you hope never comes, so that if it does, your body already knows what to do. Getting out fast is half the equation. But sometimes getting out is not an option, and what you have within arm's reach in that moment is everything. Number 9. Personal safety tools within arm's reach. Laws around self-defense tools vary by state, and what you can legally carry in your cab in Texas might get you arrested in New Jersey. Know your routes and check the regulations before you carry anything. That said, there are universally legal options that experienced drivers keep close when they sleep. The most popular is a high-lumen tactical flashlight. A flashlight with 800 to 1,000 lumens can temporarily blind someone if you point it directly at their face in the dark. It is legal everywhere. It doubles as a regular flashlight, and a solid metal flashlight body also functions as a striking tool if you need one. A personal alarm is another smart option. These are keychain-sized devices that produce a 130 decibel shriek when activated. That is louder than a jet engine from 100 feet away. Nobody sticks around when that sound goes off. You can clip one to your sleeper berth headliner and reach it without even sitting up. Air horns are another favorite among long-haul drivers. A compact air horn mounted near your headrest gives you the ability to create instant attention on your truck from every other driver in the lot. And attention is the last thing someone with bad intentions wants. Whatever you choose, it needs to be within arm's reach of where your hand rests when you sleep. Not in a duffel bag, not in the glove box. Within arm's reach. Every single night. All 9 of these habits protect you in different ways. But there is one final routine that ties them all together, and it is the habit that separates drivers who take safety seriously from drivers who just hope for the best. Number 10. The pre-sleep security walkdown. Before you climb into the sleeper for the night, walk a full lap around your entire rig. Start at the driver door, move around the front of the cab, down the passenger side, along the full length of the trailer, around the back, and up the driver's side until you are back where you started. While you walk, you are checking specific things. Look under the truck for anything that does not belong. Check the wheel wells on both sides for objects or devices that should not be there. Look at your trailer seals and door latches to make sure they have not been tampered with. Scan the area around your truck for anyone sitting in a parked car watching, for anything out of place, or for anything that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. This walkdown takes 3 minutes, maybe 4, and it accomplishes 2 things at once. First, it gives you an actual visual confirmation that your rig is secure before you go to sleep. You are not lying in the berth wondering if you locked the trailer or if that shadow you saw was a person. You already checked. Your brain can actually relax, which means better sleep, which means a safer drive tomorrow. Second, your walkdown is visible to anyone who might be watching the lot. When a potential thief sees a driver methodically checking every inch of their rig before climbing in, that driver immediately moves to the bottom of their target list. You have just signaled that you are alert, you are thorough, and you are not going to be an easy mark. Do the walkdown every single night without exception. Make it the last thing you do before you close that cab door. Those 10 habits are what keep veteran drivers safe while the rest of the lot is hoping nothing goes wrong. None of them require expensive equipment or take more than a few minutes. But stacked together, they turn your cab into one of the hardest targets in the parking lot. Pick even 3 or 4 and start doing them consistently, and you will feel the difference the first night. If you want to go deeper, the video on screen right now breaks down the gear side of truck cab safety. Click it, and I will see you there.